In this video I'll show you how to build your views, how you can put elements on your screen, and how you can manipulate the data or manipulate the view itself or these elements on your screen. So we have this sample application already prepared from the last time with the automatic versioning, and now we are going to add some elements to the application screen, and then we will link them to the application, and via this we will be able to change their content, change their behavior. So I opened the application for the iOS version, and in this we go to the main storyboard where we can edit the elements, or we can add the elements to the application. And as you can see, we have already a view controller here without any elements included, only the view, and within the view we have a safe area where we can put the elements. So what you should know is the safe area is basically an area which is not covered by the corners or not covered by this notch thing here. So if you use the safe area to align your elements, or to set the place of the elements in the screen, then within the safe area everything will be visible. So let's go into the application itself, and let's add some elements. So if you want to add an element, there is a plus mark here which brings up this window, and then you can select what you want to add to the screen. So let's say we are adding now a text field. Okay, let's bring the text field into the screen, and in this way the element is not aligned to anything, so it's basically just somewhere on the screen. There's no exact place for it, and when the application will show it, the size and the shape itself will remain as it is visible. But of course, when we want to run our application, and we want to run the application in on different screens or different size phones, then the shape of this element should change to make sure that it appears on the same way or on a similar way on every different devices. So as you can see here at the bottom, you can change the view to different device sizes. So you have here the different sizes, different display resolutions. You have some smaller ones. So if you click on these, then you can see how this will appear. Of course, with these older phones you don't have a safe area, because everything within the screen is visible. The buttons and the speaker cutout is not covering any display elements. But in the newer versions you have these differences, that you have the notches, and then the notches can cover the elements. So okay, let's go back to one of the newer versions. I think we use the iPhone 16. Okay, so you can see the elements here. How you can make sure that this element is aligned to the edges of the phone or to the edges of the safe area? You have here some alignment tools. So with the constraints, you can define that how this element is related to other elements of the screen. Typically you are using this, but of course you can align some elements to each other. So if you click on this, you can see that you can place it in the horizontally or vertically in the center of a container, or you can align it to the leading or trailing edges of the screen or the other element, and so on. So These are what you can use, and also here the constraints is what you are using the most often. Currently you can't see anything here because the element itself is not selected, so let's select at first the element, then select the constraint, and you can see already that it's automatically giving you some numbers. It's actually showing that where the element's currently located, but of course you can change this, and here you can define that what you want to use for the alignment. So let's use right now this. You can select actually this link already to the top or to the side. So this will keep the element at the same place from the top and from the left side of the screen. But once you change these values, so for example, let's have 10, it goes up. But as you can see, this is already going up to the top of the area. So you should later on define this, that this constraint should be not to the screen but to the safe area. So if you come here, you click on the on this constraint line, then you can set up that where it should be. So you can see here the super view is the full screen, and the safe area is basically that area where it should be. So when you change these values, then the constraint itself is changing as well. So it's keeping its actual position. So you should change it back to where you want this element. So let's put it into position position 10. And from the left side, this is again safe area leading. Let's say this is 16, something like that. Okay. So then you can decide if you want to have this element with a strictly defined width or strictly defined height. But typically you are not doing this. You are constraining it to something else. So let's constrain it to the right side of the screen as well. So here you can see that it will do it. So the text field will be this big. Okay, so this is how you can place an element. So how you can link it to the application itself, because this element actually doesn't do anything. Of course, when you go into the application, you can type into this text field, but the application will not use it because it doesn't know that this element is existing here, and it's not linked to the application. So you need to make sure that the element is linked into the view controller as a variable, and via this variable or object you can change certain things. So you can basically get the values out from this element. So how you can do this linking, that you have here this button, and you have here the assistant screen. If you switch it on, then you already can get that view controller which is linked to this screen element, or with this storyboard view controller, and to link the item itself and to define a variable for it, you don't need to do anything else. Just right click on the element and pull it into the view controller code under the class definition, and then you will you need to name it. So let's say that this is first text, for example. So this the type of this element is a UI text field, and it will be connected via this name to the code. So now we have this text element, and we can get also a function to this. So if we type something into it, we can also define an action here. So you can see that if you are pulling below the functions, it's already bringing up this connection type as as an action, and you can give an action name here, like I don't know, text edited. And you can also define when it will be called. So if you say that editing did end, so when you finish the editing in the text field, then this function will be called. Also, you can use other events calling this function. So editing change. So whenever you type one character into this field, then it will be triggering this event or this function. And when the editing started, you can also have this. So so basically you can link it to different trigger actions. So let's leave it editing did end. Actually, we will not use it. It's just to show how this can be done for an element. But what we should maybe add here is a button. Okay, so let's have a simple button here. Let's put it under this, and then I can show you also that how we can link this this button, or how we can align this button to the other item. So let's put it on the right side of this element. So you can select the button, and then okay, let's click outside and then select the button. With the control or command button, you can select the other item, and then you can make the alignment to each other. So let's align them to the trailing edges. So this will make the button align to the right side of the text field. Okay, so when you align it, then it's already showing with the red frame that the button is not fully constrained. So you can make some automatic constraining it via clicking on this view controller and this red arrow, and this will bring up that what kind of constraints are missing, or how you can, or how you want to treat this kind of issue. So if you click on this one, which is showing that it's an error, and the other is a kind of recommendation, if you click on the red circle, then it will bring up that what you or how the system should correct for you this missing constraint. So here, if you press add missing constraint, then basically this failure message is disappearing, and you can see that the button itself is aligned to the text field with more constraints, so some missing constraints added. And we can also look into this yellow one, that you can see that this is the recommended one, which is coming up automatically. And if you confirm this, then an additional constraints will be added. But this is not important actually, because if it is not a red one, then it's just a kind of recommendation. You don't need to adjust it or add these missing constraints necessary. So let's see what we can do. Again, you can create a function to it, and typically you are using buttons to have function. In the text fields, you're not always using this kind of triggered actions, because you might not need to do anything with it when you are typing, but at the end, when you finished, you want to save the content or you want to do something else, you are typically using a button function for this. So let's give a name for this button save, for example. Okay, so we are connecting it, and the function is already there. So we don't want to go more deeper in this. Of course, if you want to add more elements, you can continue similarly with the rest. You can use different elements on the screen, and then you can get the outlets linked, or you can give additional functions. But just for test reasons, let's say that we just what was typed in here. So let's write out the text as a log, and let's see how this is working after this. So we compile it, we run it on a, oops. Okay, let's do like this. Okay, so now we don't have an issue. And where is the simulator? Let's see. Okay, so we have here the text field and the button. Let's type in here test, press the button, and you can see that when we press the button, the function was running and it was writing the test here. Test2, press the button, test2 is there. So this is how you can use the values out from the text field on iOS. So let's see the similar thing on the Android. Okay, so this is our sample application. Let's close this other one. We don't need it. So let's go to the resources and let's adjust this on the first screen or the first fragment, because this one was what we were defining or the automatic generation of the first screen was creating. Delete at first the elements from the screen, just to give space for the buttons and for the text field, what we created also in the iOS. So here we have a constraint layout. You can see here this little area. Actually, this is resizing based on the content. So we are now adding the text field into it. Okay, so we drop it in. You can see that it's already, let's say, in place, but it's not constrained yet. So how we can constrain it? We have these little circles here, and these will create the links to the different elements or to the screen. So we can take this out, and we constrain it right now to the top. It's not really visible here, but you will see later on. So this side we also constrain to the side, and this side we also constrain to the side. Okay. So now we have this constraint. You can see that it's not pulling to the side of the screen, but in the attributes screen, or on the attributes in the attributes. Okay, so as you can see that the constraints are now not pulling the size of the or the edges of the text field to the side of the screen, but you can do this as well, similarly like in the iOS, on this attributes field here, which is giving you the constraint dimensions, and also that how the constraints should be used. So you can see that if you click on these, no, so then the behavior will change. Currently it's saying fixed, so now it's not doing anything. But if you make it for this kind of constraint layout version, then this will pull the edges of the element to the side of the screen. So here you can change the distance from the side of the screen. You can see that it's already changing, and also from the top you can make it like maybe 8 or something. Okay, so let's add the button as well, and then we will change a little bit the screen and the name. So here we will again. So how you can link it to the others? It's a bit easier than in the iOS version. So here now we just put it to the side, and we also link it to the bottom of the other element, and then we say that it's maybe, again, let's say 8, and this one should be 0, so we are leaving it as it is. So now the button and the text field is already on the screen. The difference to the iOS solution that here in this layout designer, let's say, you can already name your field or the element, and this name or this ID will be used within the code. So here you don't need to link it to the view controller. It will be handled on a different way, what I will show in a minute. So let's name it again. First text and the button. Okay, so once you rename an item or an element, then the system is bringing up this rename window, and it will say that the system is planning to refactor the IDs with this name. So this edit text 2 will be renamed to first text. What you need to take into account that if you rename an element which you already named on a way, and you do it like this, then it will rename not just this element here on the screen, but all the other elements in your application. So be careful with this refactoring, because this might cause for you some headaches later on. So just right now, because we don't have any other edit text 2, we can safely refactor the whole thing. So then for the button, we have the button. Okay, we don't make anything with this. Okay, so we rename the elements, and now let's go to the segment code. So let's select the first fragment code, and here you can see that there is a generated binding element to the fragment UI elements, and here of course this doesn't show you too much at the moment, just that the system already taking care about this fragmentation. So how you can define here the different actions, or how you can link your element to the application itself, or to the code that you are referring to these elements. So you can do it right at the beginning, that you give a private variable name to the binded element, but it's very simply can be used always with this binding code. So you can see here that there was a button defined here, but this button we deleted. So now we can delete this this code, but let's see, let's just add the code for the button we created, and you can see that the button here is already popping up. And then we define this set on click listener. Okay, and then let's add a debug information, including our text field, and convert it into a string to be able to show it on the screen. And let's see how this. Okay, so change the text to test, press the button here, and we see that the test is appearing here. So this this function was working and it was writing out the test message. Let's test it again. Test 2, and test 2 is working. Okay, so this is what I wanted to show you. So basically these are the basic elements what you can do with the screen design functions on the layouts in Android Studio, and also the same in the storyboard editor in Xcode. So from this video you could learn that how you can place these elements on the screen and how you can link it to your application. Thanks for watching. See you next time.